Hi, welcome to the Mangala Samiti podcast, where I talk about business, life, personal development, and other ideas that matter. I am your host, Mangala Samiti, and I am many things: a chartered global management accountant, CFO, author, voiceover artist, and so much more. But I really am just one thing, and that is a creator. I create content and solutions to problems and challenges. I hope this podcast will help you on your own journey to greatness. I want to thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. This week, I want to give you an idea and hopefully open your mind up to a different perspective and seeing the world, life, and your interactions with other people from a completely different angle. You see, we go through life judging people and making decisions and hoping people will act in the same manner that we do. You see, we tend to see things from a very narrow perspective, and that perspective is not incorrect. It's not wrong. It's just a limited viewpoint because it's based on our own life experiences and things that we ourselves have experienced in life and the things that we have seen, and we tend to then develop this narrow view, this tunnel vision. You see, if all that someone has known is pain and disappointment, that is all they will expect out of each interaction with anyone and everyone. See, pain and disappointment is all they see, is all that they know, is all that they have experienced in their life. So all they know is pain and disappointment. That's what life is. If all they've seen is betrayal, they'll live their life knowing and believing that betrayal is what life is. And people have built walls around themselves as a result. You see, the converse is also true. If all that people have known is happiness and joy in their lives, to them all they know is life is full of joy and happiness. If all people have seen is sacrifice and all that they've experienced in life is sacrifice, then to them that's what life is. If all also they've seen is drugs and the bad side of something like alcohol, the conclusion is alcohol just destroys life. A good example of this is people from my own family. My dad believes drugs is for junkies, for junkies and people in the US. My grandma swears by it. She hates alcohol. She doesn't believe it can bring any good. And a lot of people also go through life believing this is indeed true. You see, but the thing is, they haven't seen how it also brings people together and allows them to become friends and build relationships for a lifetime. How it can be used to celebrate experiences, how it can be used to celebrate events in life, and how it also allows people to get out of their own heads and into experiencing and just being in the moment with others. See, the world is massive and contains many viewpoints on life, existence, meaning, and so on. One of the things that I find about this beauty of this diversity is the beauty of it all, and the beauty is simply amazing. There is beauty in every single thing you interact with and every single thing you see out there. At times, things may look ugly, but if you really look at them with a different viewpoint, you realize that there's beauty in everything. And I must say, it is sad for me personally to see people develop this narrow view where all they see is ugliness, or they see is sadness, or they see is unhappiness, without knowing that there actually could be an alternative, and the power does lie indeed within you to make a change. But look, no judgment. You see, nature, the universe, doesn't know good or bad. To the universe, there's no such thing as good or bad. There's just life. It just is what it is, and it continues in whatever form that it chooses. Life goes on with or without you. It is the sad reality and the truth of it all. It does. It does go on with or without you. You see, we're so stuck on judging other people's decisions and their life choices based on our own experiences, and we even get so angry at them, we get so mad. They rile us up because they don't seem to make decisions in the same way that we do, or they take a choice that we otherwise wouldn't have taken, and it's so foreign to us, and we get angry, we get mad. And the truth is, they don't even care, and they continue to live their lives as they see fit. So why exactly do we then take this viewpoint of judging people and other people and others from a perspective that is narrow and that is limited from our own viewpoint? I remember a couple of years back, something that I learned from leadership. You see, I'd get angry and frustrated when someone didn't do something the way that I wanted it done. And by someone, I mean my subordinate. And get this, look, they still achieve the objective within their chosen method. But because it's not the method I'd go with, I'd be angry and I'd be stuck on why they would have chosen to do it that way, why they would have gone that route, because it's not a route that I would have taken. Until I realized that that anger is pointless. And I realized that at the end of the day, it's only hurting me, myself, making me anxious, frustrated, killing my mood, my vibe, putting me in a negative funk that served no one. See, until I realized all you have to do is see it from the other person's perspective. You see, we judge people based on our own standards and experiences and not theirs. And this causes immense frustration on our parts. It's true. We even get sick or lose sleep over it because we are replaying what we could have said. We are replaying the events. We are replaying the situation and maybe an argument that we may have gotten into it because we want people to change and become us when they are them. And they're unique in their own ways and how they do things. Here's a question. What if you judged people on their own standards? I truly think that's one of the secrets of management. Getting out of our own heads and viewpoints to try and put ourselves in the other person's shoes and see it from their angle to understand why they do what it is that they do in the manner that they do. You see, this perspective is golden, and you'll quickly realize right and wrong is not so clear. After all, it may not even exist. Yes, we'll agree on something and try to live according to what we've agreed to maintain sanity and peace. But at the end of it, it comes down to that agreement, and any one of us can break it. Remember, nature doesn't know good or bad. Life just is, and it continues in whatever form that it chooses. Life goes on with or without you. Now, trying to live your life as someone else is impossible. And that's not what I'm advocating for. I'm advocating for you to attempt to put yourself in someone else's shoes. The next time that you find yourself in a position where you're in an argument and you're trying so hard to make your point heard and make your point be the overall overachieving point that is the right point, and you don't seem to be getting anywhere, just try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and try to understand their viewpoint. Why do they make the argument from the manner that they do, from the angle that they do? Why do they see it that way? You quickly realize that what it is that you think you know can actually be different. And you may actually find common ground by taking in the other person's viewpoint and seeing it from their perspective and appreciating that perspective. Now, it may not be the right perspective, it may not be the correct perspective or the best perspective in regard to the decision that is on the table to be made, but it will give you a different viewpoint. It will give you an appreciation of how people come to the decisions that they come to. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and please, if you have any feedback, do send me an email on mangalaso.meaty@gmail.com. Thanks so much for the feedback to date. I really appreciate you. I'm grateful that this podcast is making a change one way or the other in your life. Remember, the email to send any feedback to is mangalaso.meaty@gmail.com. I wish you a great week ahead. Have a good one. Until next time.